City of Windsor's position has always been that if there was ever a time or an opportunity that the asset was going to be sold to a private sector, that we would be interested in playing a role in terms of having those discussions. We obviously had discussions with the previous Detroit administration for fear of it was going to end up in private hands. The tunnel is a very important public asset. That public asset provides a very direct linkage between the two downtowns. We have 5,000 commuters every single day, nurses, engineers, students that depend on that. And this is a good example where you have a public interest on the Canadian side that is able to keep investing in the capital, keep investing in the facility, keeping tolls low, and certainly benefiting the people of the City of Windsor in terms of dividends and revenue source, compared to private sector approach, right? So if there is ever an attempt, both the mayor, Mayor Bing knows this, one of our first meetings after his election was putting this on the table, that if there ever was a desire for them to sell the asset, that we would want to be the first call. The governor and the governor's office is well aware of that as well, and we have a pretty good relationship with the governor and his office, and those lines of communication are open. So if there is ever a time whereby anybody wakes up on the American side and decides that they're going to sell this asset and put it in private hands, then obviously we have an interest. Furthermore, I think it's important the 1930 was a great idea, right, to take two halves and give them to each side. And I think the purpose of that was that they would be run as one entity in the public interest and public purpose. But tomorrow, if the Detroit half of the tunnel is sold to a corporation, that corporation, whether it's the Ambassador Bridge or anyone else, can decide to close off the American half of the tunnel, fill it up with cement, and there's nothing that we can do about it. So the public interest, the public good, the economic utility, but also trying to preserve the Canadian half of the tunnel are all reasons why we're very interested, if it ever happens, or if it ever does come up, that it's for sale on the private side and that the public interest is not going to be guarded.